opinions expressed on this program are that of the speaker and do not necessarily represent or reflect the views of any entities they may represent. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Okay, well, I just wanted to show you guys the wonderful picture here of Joe Blow Biden and his wonderful speech that mimics something that the Fourth or Third Reich would do back in the World War II days. That's why we have the red lights on tonight here in the studio. I know they're not as beautiful as Joe Biden's red lights, but hey, you know what? They're there. We love Joe Biden. Here beside me tonight, guys, we have the wonderful Captain Bubba. Bubba, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. What about you, man?
Oh, you know, living the fucking dream, the American dream is what they say.
Oh, trust me, I understand.
We're going to keep this nice picture of Joe Biden on here tonight because I want to talk about a few things that have been bothering me. I still had a monologue for tonight. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get on here, but yeah, I have a monologue I want to go through tonight, and we're going to do that. But first off, since you didn't hear about this Biden deal, this picture that we're showing right here on the screen was his fucking speech he did last week, talking about how much he hates MAGA Republicans and how much pieces of shit they are. So, yeah. Did you know that we're pieces of shit?
No, I did not know that.
I didn't really know that either. I got to turn this fucking red light off. This is driving me insane. Oh, good Lord. Okay, get back to my blue. That's much better. Turn your white light on there, Bub, so people can see your pretty face.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes, you do.
There.
Okay, that's better.
There, hold on.
It's mucho bettero, sir. So, what do we got? Whack job. Bubba is a closet liberal anyway. No, he's not. If he was a closet liberal, he wouldn't be here. I promise you that. I wouldn't let him in. I wouldn't let him in my fucking door.
I do have some liberal views towards some
Well,
things.
we all have some liberal views toward things. Let's be honest. But, you know, I mean, hold on a second.
You're not liking your coloring tonight?
Well, I had to get all that red out of there. That red was fucking crazy. So, you know. So anyways, my monologue. What I wanted to talk about, and it's really been bothering me, and I was talking to my buddy Chris about this the other day. The state of children these days.
Ooh, that's a good one for me. I enjoy this one. Oh, my
God. What the fuck is wrong with kids today?
Nobody beat their ass. I think.
Right. Nobody beat their ass for one. But number two, though, look at kids these days. All right, I can't look at fucking Joe Biden anymore. I got to do this. There we go. We got to get rid of that son.
Yeah, dude. That's fine.
He's out. Anyway, what kids, boys specifically, are turning into vaginas.
Oh, yeah. I have
and no offense if you have one, if your pronouns, you know, are he or she and her or whatever the fuck you might be, but boys are supposed to be masculine, yes. We were sitting at a restaurant tonight, just for example. This fucking little twat walks in. He's wearing shorts halfway up his thigh, has a fucking muscle shirt on, and he's got a fucking mustache.
Okay.
Let me say this, and I've said this before. If you have a mustache and your name is not Tom Selleck, you need to shave it off. I mean, just picture me right here with just this. How fucking ridiculous would I look?
Well, the problem is, though, Top Gun Maverick came out.
I know, and these motherfuckers, none of them are even close to being Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. So, okay. So this was the adult that came in first, or was this the kid?
This was two boys. And I say boys because they were of legal age to consume alcohol. However, they were not men. They were definitely boys. So I'm just disgusted with the way people are raising their kids these days. I'm sorry if you're a millennial parent and you're raising your children to be that way. You're fucking this world up.
Well, one of my buddies that I fly with, he actually said it best. He was like, "I'm trying to raise my kids to be men. There's enough women in this world, and there's enough boys that's in this world. We need more men in this world."
Ain't that the fucking truth?
And when he said that, he's nothing against anybody. He's just like, do you want somebody that's going to come up and be able to, you know, fix something for you or do something along the lines of something masculine. Even women can do it. Nothing against that. But
well, no, you better not be nothing against that, because that would be sexual, or that would be
sexist.
Male chauvinists.
Yeah.
You'd be a sexist pig.
But I mean,
I'm a feminist.
Oh yeah, I know you are.
I love women.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at with that whole thing is, though, and the majority of your viewers that are women would probably agree that they don't want something weak when they're the significant other.
No, they don't. Why would a woman want a fucking man that can't open a pickle jar?
Exactly.
Why would a woman want a man that wears shorter shorts than she does?
Well, I mean,
why would a woman want a man who raids her fucking moisturizer drawer to moisturize his own fucking skin?
Mm-hmm.
Why would a woman want a man that likes the smell of cucumber melon on his own fucking skin?
And that's the thing. Every woman I've ever dated, you can attest this too, for your sake too.
Oh my God.
But every woman that I've ever dated, they said, I feel comfortable in your arms. I feel safe in your arms. You know what I mean?
Because we're fucking big men.
And, you know,
men.
I took pride in that because that is what I always wanted to do.
Men.
So
we are men. Jesus Christ. It's the truth, though. And I mean, listen, I don't have a problem if a boy wants to look like a, like that. And that's his prerogative. But the parents that are pushing that shit are the problem.
It's not even.
It's just okay. When I worked in the prison system back then, they were starting this kinder, gentler corrections bullshit. When I was a cop, toward the end of my career as a law enforcement officer, it was kinder, gentler policing. They were starting that shit back in the Obama days, where everything was like calming down, and they didn't want you to put your hands on people, and they didn't want you to do this, and they want you to do that, and you got to talk to people like this. It's okay. Hi, how are you today? You know why I pulled you over? Because you were fucking speeding. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You had to be sweet to people. No, fuck that. That's what's wrong with this country. People are expecting to be fucking patted on the goddamn back, everybody being sweet to everybody. And that's not how this fucking works. The real world is fucking gruesome. The real world is fucking nasty. The real world is fucking horrible. And we need to teach our children to deal with it. Not to go find a fucking safe space, not to fucking cry in mommy's arms or go huddle under a fucking blanket somewhere, but to take the world by the fucking balls and realize that not everything is a safe space and not everything is going to go their fucking way. Just like if one of them little fucking pukes in that restaurant tonight was listening to what I'm saying right now, I promise you they would be offended.
Well, yeah.
And they would probably be trying to find a fucking blanket to hide under in the corner of the fucking room in a goddamn safe space.
No, you'd just get canceled right now. That's the other thing.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Cancel culture would definitely knock my ass out.
And I mean, that's the thing about it.
Breathe.
Yeah, because when you're getting into every part of this, it's a little bit scary to think about all these kids that want to be, cuddled. And the other thing is
Coddled, not cuddled.
Oh, okay.
Coddle, like fucking coddled. Want to be held in the palm of somebody's hand and say, it'll be okay. It's going to be okay. I promise.
And you remember when I worked at Columbus or at the college, we'll say that. Well, actually, I could go ahead and say it now, but
it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yeah. When I worked there, we originally had it was referred to as a quiet room, which.
Oh my God. Did you really?
Yeah, dude, it's still there, but it's not even a quiet room anymore.
Is it called a safe space now?
Actually, it was a prayer room originally.
Okay, well.
And then it went to a quiet room.
Because I'm sure the prayer room probably pissed somebody off.
Well, no, because they left it open, and the only people that really got upset about it were the atheists who said that, they didn't want to have their, religion and state, all that shit.
Let's see. Hold on a second. Go ahead. Keep talking.
So now we have this quiet room where anybody can go into. It's supposed to be quiet. You can pray. You can do whatever you want into it. And it was always just there for anybody. So,
okay.
No, this is the second part that I was going to tell you about. So when I was working dispatch, there would be what we had preachers out in the lawn, and they would be out there saying about how everybody's going to go to hell, that if you've had premarital sex, if you're gay, lesbian, all that stuff, just trying to get people riled up. You know what I mean? They're recording this
of course
for their Congress or not, was it congregation? And they were always sitting there just trying to go ahead and show how horrible these kids are. Do you know how many times I had people come in saying that they wanted to go ahead and have us remove them from campus? It's freedom of speech. Like, it's a state-run campus. We cannot remove them from campus because it's their right.
It's their right to say what the fuck they want to say.
Yeah, and everybody's like, well, they can't be cussing at us and everything. Yes, they can. Just walk away from them.
The separation of church and state, as far as government buildings and public schools, is that Columbus State's not a public school because you have to pay to go there, correct?
No, it's still state funded.
So then the separation of church and state does carry over to
any college
place.
Any college that gets grants, loans, anything like that.
Okay.
The only ones are the super private. I think Harvard doesn't have to, and like
private places like Wittenberg University over in Dayton, Miami University, or in Springfield. Miami University down south.
Mainly a lot of more of the ones
like
that
Ivy League.
I think Ivy League would be a better way to look at it, because they get so much funding from businesses and things like that to go ahead and do research that they don't need that state funding for everything. So, but you got to let people out on the campus to say whatever they want to. And what we told the kids was, it's no different than just having someone walk across campus and, saying something like, hey, you look good or whatever. We're not going to get them for sexual harassment.
Hey, you sexy bitch.
Yeah, you get the idea. And we just told them, just walk away from it. Well, all these people started freaking out about it. And even the president of the college had to finally come out and say, we're done. That's it.
And that was how long ago? That was...
I've been gone from there.
It's been a while.
5 or 6 years now.
Yeah. See, it's just bullshit. This whole thing's fucking ridiculous. It was even going back then. I resigned from the sheriff's office in 2013. And that was Obama's second term had just started, and everything. And it was really going to that kindler, gentler policing shit. And I just couldn't deal with it.
Well, and that's another thing that's out there right now and
it's getting worse and worse. With every administration we have that's Democratic, it's getting worse and worse. They're pushing their agenda more and more. And it's disgusting, really, in my honest opinion.
Now, granted, I hate to say it, we're not of different colors, so we haven't been oppressed necessarily all the time. And I'm not saying that
we're oppressed right now. We don't want to get into that. Nah, we're not.
That one
there.
I don't know. I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? Nobody really screws with me, and I go on my life.
Nobody screws anybody anymore. Nobody does. People screw with each other. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. People get fucked with every day. It doesn't matter.
This is true.
People, I really honestly believe that only the ignorant people out there honestly truly see race.
True. Well,
because to me, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Native American, whatever. I don't see you as that. I see you as who you are.
Yeah.
If you're a good person to me, I'm a good person. You don't give a fuck what color you are.
Well, and that's the same thing for my current job. I don't really care who you are. I don't really worry about it. As long as you treat me with, pardon me, somewhat respect.
Don't vomit.
No. I was just,
need the trash can. It's right beside you.
Oh, I know. I saw it. You're half, cut off trash can.
Hey, you know what? This right here. Yes, it's a water jug. I cut the top out of, but it makes a great trash can. I had to put the tape on top of it because it was sharp.
Yeah, I figured.
I cut it with my Dremel, but it works.
But I don't know. I guess I just don't understand. I don't understand the world that we live in today. Honestly, I really have no idea.
I don't either, dude, and I never will.
What were you going to talk to me about that you were looking up when I kept on talking? You were looking up something about safe spaces or something. Oh,
you're talking about the atheist bitching about preacher or whatever.
Well, no. It's just it was anybody. Like, these kids wanted to have a debate with this guy. Actually, it's all over YouTube. Like, let
them have their fucking debates. Who cares? Debates make for better people.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you have a super Christian person, like beyond Christian.
Yeah.
Wanting to debate with a freshman in college. Like, it's fine.
There's no freshman in college even smart enough to have a debate at this point.
Well, but I'm just saying, I don't care if you guys talk about stuff. I don't care, but don't come to the police department trying to get somebody arrested because you're upset with what they're saying.
That's the world we live in. People were fucking sad because people hurt their feelings. They want them arrested. Just how it is, unfortunately. That's the world we live in.
Oh, yeah. I get it. I really do.
Trying to tag some people here because, you know, nobody shares my shit except a few people. Uncle Donnie shared my shit tonight. I appreciate Uncle Donnie for listening. We started 5 minutes early, though, too, so that might be a reason why. But, of course,
it is Labor Day weekend, too.
Oh, I forgot about it being Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
I did. Happy Labor Day, everybody that doesn't have to work tomorrow. Luckily, I'm included in that, even though it's my normal day off. I don't have to work at least.
Oh, Lindsay had to point it out. She shared it.
What?
She shared your link.
Yeah, but her Facebook's so goddamn private, though, that I mean, it's not going to be her friends that really see it. So. But I appreciate it, love. Thank you.
She's not in jail again.
Not right now. Not right now. See my new car?
I saw 2 new cars out there.
Yeah, we got 2 new cars.
So who's got the Durango?
Well, who the fuck do you think?
Would that be Miss Lindsay?
That would be the wife, yes. Miss Lindsay has a new Durango.
Is it the Hemi?
No, fuck no. Do I look stupid?
She wouldn't. Yeah, she would get speeding tickets, even with the kids in the car.
Yeah.
That's a big 10-4.
Definitely.
And
she's a good driver.
yeah,
I never ever say she's not a good driver. She's a good driver, but she does have a foot that is quite possibly made of a chunk of fucking lead.
I will say this, after riding in New York quite a bit with Ubers and everything else, I understand where she gets it because they only know 2 things, and that's gas pedal and brake. And if you're not hitting one, you're hitting the other. You're pissing off everybody else behind you.
Oh man, I'll tell you. She gets mad at me because I always bitch about her driving, and I shouldn't. I bitch and piss and moan because, okay, I drive for a living. I've said this before. I drive like 11 hours a day, and I'm telling you, when I get off work, I don't want to fucking drive. I am so sorry, but I do not wish to be behind the wheel of anything.
Really?
Unless I'm in my car and I'm like, you know, driving like a fuckface. I enjoy driving like fast, but I don't do that with my kids in the car. So I never get a chance to like do that, which is fine. I don't need to anyway. But no, I would much rather her drive. I don't want to drive. I drive enough and I need to just keep my fucking mouth shut. But because I'm such a fucking critiquer as far as I see people driving all day long and I see what it's like from the standpoint of being a truck driver and people doing the same shit that people doing shit that I see that bothers me. I want to say something to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's any given day nowadays.
You know, it's like, all right, don't ride that guy's ass. Give that trucker some space. Stop behind the stop bar. You know, it's shit like that. And I don't mean to be a prick. I really don't. It just comes out because I see this shit. It's like in Mount Sterling, every fucking time you go to turn, some dickweed pulls past the stop bar if you're turning right to go back toward town.
Yeah.
And then you're putting the nose of your tractor right at the front of their fucking truck or car. And it's like, motherfucker, if you don't move, we're going to sit here because I have nowhere to go and you have no one behind you. You need to put your car in fucking reverse and get back behind the stop bar. The stop bar, people, there's a stop bar on the ground for a reason. If you know what that is, you come up to a traffic light. It's the big white fucking bar on the ground before the stop walk. Stop behind it. That gives us room to fucking turn, people. Stop behind the fucking stop bar.
Well, sometimes it gives you guys places to turn.
Hey, it helps. It helps a lot.
Some of these cities don't have that shit down right.
No, some places with tight turns, they need to be further back, but at least it gives you something to work with. When people pull up the fucking crosswalk.
Well, I was going to actually ask you, when you come into town and you're coming in from 41 and you come up to Columbus Ave or Court Street, and you know, 41 turn and you turn right there, but it's supposed to be no right turns for trucks. Have you ever seen that sign?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No right turns, like so you don't go. They don't even go right toward downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they've had all those truckers go ahead.
They take that pole out. They hit that pole.
Yeah. Or they've hit the curbs or everything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
stupid.
I guess they need to go ahead and just start scooting everything back a little bit, because I know there's good truckers out there. I've seen it all the time. They can make that turn, but
you can make the turn. The problem is the traffic sitting on the other side of the road.
Oh, I know.
That's the problem. They have that center turn lane in the middle of town, and that's the problem. That's the whole problem.
Well,
so you have to, that left turn is a lot safer for turn to make for a driver, because even though you're in the center turn lane, when you're making that left turn, what I do, if I have to make a left turn like that, I'll like cock over into the left lane or the right lane. I'm sorry. And I'll take up both lanes.
Oh, I saw some.
I don't care if behind me pisses them off or not, but that's just how I do it.
You check your mirrors before you start doing that turn, because I've seen semis take out cars.
When I come up to that intersection, I'm already straddling the line and taking up both lanes.
Oh, really?
Yes. I do that for my safety and the safety of the people behind me so they can't get up beside me.
Okay. Because when I was working at Rent to Own, I saw a semi just crush a
and then by the time I get up to that intersection, I'm literally my tail of my tractor is at the line on this side, and my cab is all the way over in the other lane facing straight.
Oh, so you're getting ready for it.
I'm ready for that turn before it even turns me. That way nobody can get up beside me on either side.
Okay.
The bad part is when you get too far over, motherfuckers will go up beside you on the left.
Yeah. And
then you're trying to make your turn because you got to swing wide.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers are right there.
Oh, that's what I mean. That's what guy was trying to turn right.
Getting pissed.
And he didn't get over far enough, so he was taking up the left lane and some of the right lane, and a car snuck in next to him.
Yeah, even doing what I do, people sneak in next to you. You just got to be careful.
Well,
it's like driving anything. If you're even in your car, you got to be careful. But I mean, you really, in a big truck, you really got to be mindful of what the hell's around you.
Oh no, he never saw him, so he crushed the front end of that car. Technically,
it would be the car's fault.
Even with him having the right turn and it being more in the left than the right.
Yeah, it's perceived perception or something like that. It's, that truck is big.
Yeah.
And if it's my turn to make that turn and you get in my fucking way, it's your fault.
Okay, because I was actually thinking
that happened to me down in Lexington.
Okay.
I had about 200 yards of space between me and the stop sign at the end of the road. I started my turn. I was literally had my tractor facing left as I was turning left. I was in that lane.
Yeah.
A guy came from that stop sign 200 yards away, seen me turning on purpose, got on his accelerator, got up beside me, flipped me off, and then ran into my trailer.
I didn't know you've had any boo-boos with.
That wasn't my fault. There was a guy behind that guy in a Suburban. That dude jumped out, yelled at me, told me I was a shitty driver, and told me I was a motherfucker and everything under the sun. And this guy behind him, thank God for that guy, pulls up and he goes, I seen the whole fucking thing, dude. Call the cops. I got your back. He sped up on purpose. He just tried to do it to a cop down the road. Or not to a cop, but to a truck driver down the road too. So yeah, I got out of that shit because it wasn't my fault. Truly, it wasn't. The guy, I had plenty of time to make my turn.
See, but I thought that even though it wasn't your fault, that you were still, that it's held against you in some way.
Nope. It's either at fault or not at fault. I was not at fault for that.
Because our good bud, Henry.
Okay. What happened to him was his company's fault.
Okay.
He got into an accident on a Billy the Rancher Williams. Yeah, sorry, I've been tagging people. He was on a highway in Columbus in a rainstorm, and our trucks have radars in them, so I know how far away you are from me. Okay, that data is always recorded in your camera, right? So I knew how far away he is from me, and he had, say, 350, 400 foot of following distance, which they go out to 600 feet usually. Am I right, Chris? I think about 600 feet, normally the new ones. He got cut off. His following distance went from 400 feet down to, what was it, like 65 feet, maybe 60 feet. And then the guy slammed on his brakes. And it was in a rainstorm. They were running about 50 mile an hour.
Really?
Yes, it was definitely the guy in front of his fault. He, however, did get cited for failure to observe an assured clear distance ahead because that's the law in Ohio.
Right.
Now, he could have went to court and fought that with his radar data, because they didn't have cameras in their trucks at the time that happened.
Right.
But the radar data was recorded for the incident in the computer system on the truck, and that was able to get taken out. But the problem was, now he could have got those points taken off his license, and he wouldn't have got the 2 points for the failure to observe. But we also have as truck drivers, we have what's called a CSA score, okay, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration score,
right?
FMCSA. That score is what, like, they would check you. So they check our MVR, which is regular driving record,
right? And
they also check your CSA score, and both of those scores have to be good, or then you won't get hired. Now we have DOT recordable and non-DOT, or reportable and non-DOT reportable incidents on the highway. If I get in an accident, God forbid, and nobody's towed from the scene, and there's no medical attention for anybody, that's a non-DOT reportable event.
Okay.
If I get in an accident, God forbid, and I will say that again, God forbid, I get in an accident like Henry was in. He rear ends a guy by complete bullshit chance, whatever. The guy's hitch on his trailer punctured his radiator. He was leaking coolant, not at a fast rate, but because his company said, don't drive that truck, we're having it towed. It became a DOT reportable. And that stays on your record for like 5 or 6 years.
Oh.
And it's all on his company. It's not on him.
Oh.
He was literally 2 miles from his OC operating center. He could have drove that truck 2 miles and had the radiator replaced at the shop there without being towed. And that would have not gave him a DOT reportable incident.
Your buddy's catching you out. He said 3 years.
3 years. Sorry. I thought it was 5. Certain companies like to say 10 years, and it stays on your record no matter what. It's just the points aren't there. Your CSA points aren't there anymore. That's how certain companies that Chris and I know can go back 10 years and see what you did.
So in other words, it's sort of like it falls off your record, but you can still see it if you really want to see it.
It's like in Ohio, if you run your MVR, like after 3 years, your speeding ticket falls off. You don't see it anymore. Now you might in Leeds.
Yeah, you still see it.
But like if you run an MVR like through the DMV, to give to your work, you don't see it anymore.
Okay.
Once the points fall off, the citation falls off.
Man, you all lucky motherfuckers. Once it's on our license, it's always there.
That's the same with us. Once it's there, it's always there. It's not reportable at that point.
Oh no, we always have to report it. We don't have what.
To. Yeah, but you guys get off on the easy fucking medical though.
What?
Compared to us, yeah, you guys haven't made.
What do you mean? We got to do an EKG. I got to start doing them next year. EKG once a year. And then I got to have a medical twice a year because I'm hitting that big number.
What, 40?
Uh-huh.
You may have to go more often, but they're fucking harder on us. Everybody's sleep apnea bullshit.
They're coming after me for that shit.
Oh, finally?
They started 3 or 4 years ago when I was seeing another doctor.
So are you... Old Bubba. So do you have to go do a sleep study?
No. They have asked me multiple times, like, are you snoring?
Okay, but see, that's fine, right? That's great. And they ask you those questions and you can say, no, I'm not snoring. And they just leave you the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, little fuck face out here at Edina.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his fucking name, Randy, but he's the one that does our medicals. And every time that son of a bitch is always like, oh, well, your neck's over 18 inches. Do you snore? No. Do you fall asleep during the day? Well, I mean, if I'm fucking tired, you don't say that. Yeah, no, I don't fall asleep during the day when I'm fucking working, dude. Doesn't matter. He sends you to fucking get a sleep study done.
Really?
Oh, yes. They do that shit like it's their fucking job.
Now, do you guys have to report every time you go to the doctor?
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah, because I have
yes, for the company Chris and I work for, yes.
Okay.
If like we change medications or whatever, it all has to be reported. All that shit, yeah.
For the medicals for the FAA, no matter what, if you go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, anytime you go, you have to report it.
We're not that bad. Ours is medication, but
see, I've got mine has to stay on there for 3 or 4 years. I think, I can't remember. And I have to report anytime. So this right here, the shoulder surgery, it takes me,
I know.
it takes me about half an hour to put every doctor's visit in there for that.
Well, your paperwork is a little bit more strenuous than ours, but the guy that does our medicals here in courthouse is a fuckhead. So,
oh, well, see, that's just,
he's a fuckhead recovering fucking coke addict. So.
now, do you have to use him here? And
the company we work for, they make us.
really?
Yep.
Because I was going to say, I know plenty of doctors that do that, and they never have any issues with it. Now, are you limited on medication that you can take?
Yes, extremely.
Well, so are we, but
yeah, we are. Yeah. Like you can't even take, like they technically, the company we work for wants you to report even if you're fucking like taking Tylenol.
really?
Yes. And Chris can vouch for that. They want you to even call this. They got a little card. We gave us a little card that has a phone number on it. You're supposed to call and report all your medication. Whether it's Tylenol, vitamins, whatever you're taking is supposed to be reported.
Oh, we're supposed to do that. We do that. We do that.
Yeah, so do we. We do that.
Because
That's a big thing for.
I'll take Allegra D, for my allergies.
Yeah.
And my last doctor, he said, "Is that an approved one?" I said, "It's over the counter." I was like, "Why wouldn't it be approved?" He said, "Zyrtec, prime example, I think is what it is."
I take Claritin.
Well, Zyrtec is not approved. It does something with your mind or something that it shuts that it's illegal to do for the FAA for what they're considering.
For Zyrtec?
Yeah, Zyrtec, I think is what it is.
Didn't know. That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I take Claritin, just whatever I get at Costco. Just
Yeah.
clear. They call it like cost clear or something. I don't know. Some fucking stupid.
But
it's loratadine is what it is. It doesn't work.
Then we gotta do the stress test and all that shit. Where you got
I know guys they've sent 4 stress tests.
You got to make sure your flexibility is good. Make sure that your movement's good. All that
Eyesight.
Yes.
I don't know how the fuck I passed this last time, dude. I can't see shit.
Aren't you about due for glasses?
I have glasses. I just don't wear them. I should be wearing them right now because I can't see the screen hardly at all. I mean, I can, but it's hard. So,
but no, and that's one thing that actually worries me about both your line of work and mine.
Well, you said, Bubba, how flexible are you?
Not as much as I used to be.
That motherfucker probably threw his head behind his fucking feet behind his head. And
no, I wish I could still do that. But the one thing that has always worried me about a lot of this stuff is like some of the medications that have came out. Why can't we take some of it? Like God, I'm trying to sit here and think some depression pills or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. But pilots aren't allowed to. If you do that, you're cut off for 4 years.
They don't want fucking crazy pilots in the air.
Well, why don't they? Because they're like, oh, you can go see a psychologist, and it's like, well, why don't you let the person just take some medication and they'll be fine?
Because that'd be too fucking easy. It's just like us. It's just like truck drivers. They would rather you be uncomfortable in a truck and have fucking a backache than take a fucking Tylenol.
See, that makes 0 sense.
Right? It's stupid. Oh, I don't know. The government has got their hands way too far into the shit that we do. And personally, I think that your job, seeing as though I really shouldn't even say that because it's not true. What you do and what I do essentially could have the same repercussions if one of us fucked up.
Yeah.
Except if you're lucky, you crash in the middle of a field and only kill you and the people on your airplane.
Correct.
Me, I do something bad on the highway. I go left to center, God forbid, blow a steer tire, and I'm taking out a fucking goddamn bus full of fucking
nuns.
Yeah. So I think they should be equally as hard on both professions as far as medical concerns.
Well, I mean, out of curiosity, and maybe a couple of your guys can discuss it too through the chat. But my thing is, Chris,
if you want to call in and talk about this, you're more than welcome to, buddy. I got my phone charged up and
my thing is, when you guys go in for your medical, how often you guys got to go for it?
Okay, so they give you. I'm on a 2-year now.
Okay.
2 years the most. It could be either they have 90, 60.
Damn, how do you get on the 90? Who the fuck did you piss off?
I didn't. I'm saying you can be.
No, I'm referring how the hell do you piss somebody off that bad for that?
It's like if you have a heart issue or something, like if you have high blood pressure, they'll throw you on a 90 and have you come back in 90 days to make sure your blood pressure's been regulated.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
I was on a 6-month card prior to getting my 2-year because that fuckface made me go take a sleep apnea test.
Okay.
To basically find out that I told him I didn't have sleep apnea. And it's like, dude, I was right. Remember, I don't have sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the test and I didn't.
And I get it. I understand. I really, really do. But so up until the age of, it depends on what version of the medical you get. 3rd class, you have to go, God, it's been forever. I want to say it's every 5 years or 3 years. But you're just a private pilot flying.
Well, Donnie, and you say that, and I know I think of like you have heart conditions, I believe, whatever, but I have a buddy that I just got hired at my company who had a valve replacement done on the backside of his heart. He has a mechanical valve. And yes, that's actually, they're pretty lenient about that kind of stuff. As long as you're medicated properly and you can like show proof from your doctor that you've had a stress test done and all that kind of stuff, they're pretty cool about letting you drive still. It's just you have to go through the proper channels, like this buddy I'm talking about. I won't mention his name, obviously, but he had to go through. For now, I'm talking for this dickhead out here that we have to go to. Because his company local sent him to the same guy we have to go to for my company. And he made him go get, I don't know, an echocardiogram, a stress test, had to get blood work done. And the thing was, his cardiologist, who is like a world-renowned fucking surgeon up at OSU, said, you're good to drive. Your numbers are good. But this fucking nurse practitioner, PA, physician's assistant out here, made him go and take all these fucking tests and pay for them all. Even though his like cardiologist and his surgeon and all the specialists he went to said, you're good.
This is out of his own pocket too?
Yeah, because his insurance fucking blows dick.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they paid for a little bit of it, but not a lot. Yeah.
So, but ours is 3 years, or what is, I'm pretty
for
sure.
a 3rd class.
Yeah, 3rd class.
3rd class is like if I went and got my private pilot's license.
Yeah,
right?
you're not even flying. You're flying for yourself. Actually, no, it is 5 years up until the age of 40. After the age of 40, you go 2nd class, or you go every 2 years. Then you go for 2nd class, which I've also had. You go once every year, and it's just a basic, simple test. Then there's 1st class, which is what I'm required to have.
Right.
That's one where if you're under the age of 30, you have to get an EKG every 5 years, and you got to get your medical every year until the age of 40. Age of 40, an EKG every year, and then you got to go every 6 months.
Really? Once you hit 40?
Once you hit 40.
Come here.
So it's going to cost $125 per time to the doctor. Now, granted, my company does reimburse me for that.
Right. I figured they probably would, yeah.
But if I have any issues with it, I got to pay out of pocket for anything of it all.
So you have to do any kind of like sleep studies or anything?
Well, my thing is, if I get say my doctor retires and I have to go to another one, all he has to say is, you got to go. Prime example is to this. I had another pilot buddy of mine, and he went to someone up at OSU or something. And she just happened to say, your blood pressure is a little bit high and you got some of this. So she wrote down, not that he had to go do it or he failed his medical,
right?
But he had high blood pressure and he needed to go get that. He was going to be needing to see his cardiologist soon. So what happens? That was 4 years ago. It come back to bite him in the ass this year. He almost lost his medical completely.
All because of some stupid fucking doctor.
Yeah, that just wrote it in there. She's not even a cardiologist.
No, and that's what I'm saying about this fuckhead out here. He's not a cardiologist, nothing. And yet he's making my buddy go get all these tests dumped out of his pocket to get his fucking medical to drive a goddamn truck. And he didn't even know what he was looking at.
Exactly.
He got all this paperwork from these doctors. Clint's, he said it was pages and pages and pages of shit from his doctor. And they're like, he didn't even know what he's looking at. He had no idea what he's even looking at because a lot of it's like, you know, he has mechanical valves. So he has to have like the viscosity of his blood has to be monitored like all the time.
Yeah.
To make sure it's the right viscosity to make that valve work. You know, if it gets too low or something, it gets too thin, you can hear it clicking in his chest and shit. Anyway, my point, case in point with the fuck we go to out here is he's a nurse practitioner.
No,
I'm sorry, he's a physician's assistant, which is even lower, I believe. Nurse practitioners have to go through more schooling. Did you know that? I do know that.
Yeah.
Than a PA. And he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. So fuck him and his stupid bullshit.
Now, granted, I will agree with you
I'm fucking mad.
Oh, yeah.
I hold my balls.
But, granted, I'm happy that I have to fight for this, but it's one of those things where every 6 months.
But you shouldn't have to fight for it.
Well, I hate to say it. There's some people that I do worry about with their health condition.
Well, there's truck drivers the same fucking way. And if that's the case, you know, you can tell if a motherfucker is, oh man, see, you bring the stupidest fucking shit up and you're right. And I understand what you're saying. And yes, it's probably good they're sending people for sleep studies. Well, because sleep apnea is a big deal on the fucking road. If it's not taken care of, you will fall asleep, you know, while you're driving. You run the risk of doing that. But I mean, let's use some fucking common sense about it too.
Very true.
You know, but then again, the common sense factor is fucking ignorant on sleep apnea, because I have a friend who I used to work with who weighs about 150 pounds soaking wet, who has the worst sleep apnea you can fucking have.
Very true.
So it doesn't really matter if you're fat. It doesn't matter if you're skinny. It doesn't matter if your neck is thick or skinny. It just depends on the person. And if, you know, but there's other signs of sleep apnea too, like high blood pressure and things of that nature. But
no, and where I'm coming at with, it's just the same thing as having good truck drivers, bad truck drivers. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that don't need to be behind the wheel or behind the yoke.
That's the fucking truth.
And, you know, we've dealt with them all beforehand. So I don't know. I agree that there has to be some give and take with all of it.
Take and give.
However you want to look at it. I don't know. I know every time I go in to my doctor, Mandy's like, why are you so worked up? I'm like, because this dude controls my entire livelihood. If I lose my medical, it's not just I lose my job. I can't fly anymore.
That's how it is for us. Same thing.
And it's one of those things of, I don't want to go into it. I don't want to go. I have to because it's my job. But it's like one wrong thing on the report card and the FAA is going to come down from the medical side and say, no. You know what I mean?
I do. It's the same way for us.
And I don't know.
They pull our medical. We can't drive.
Oh, yeah. And you're done completely
our CDL's
across
gone.
the board.
They'll let us keep our CDL. They won't like snatch it out from underneath you, but you can't get hired unless you have a medical.
Exactly. The only thing you could really do is farming, and that's even questionable there.
You don't have to have a CDL to drive farm tags. So.
I thought they changed that rule. Huh. I learned something new. So did you have any plans for tomorrow since it's Labor Day and everything? Everything's going to be closed.
Well, hopefully where I want to go is not closed tomorrow, but.
Which is?
CB shop. Out in Hebron.
You allowed to do that shit?
CBs?
Oh, CB. I was thinking of CBD.
Oh, no. Citizens Band Radio. Not CBD, not cannabidiol. Yeah, so they have. So if anybody, if anybody gives a shit, I finally got my own truck. No more slip seating for this guy. No more slip seating for this guy. Thank you, Jesus.
I haven't seen you this happy in a while.
The last guy. Yes. All right. That's me. I'm so happy about this. I don't think anybody really understands how happy I am about this, because it really is a big deal for me that I can actually have a truck now to go, and I can actually work my ass groove into my own seat now. Remember that episode of what was it? The Simpsons, the Ask Group
yeah.
episode years ago. So that's a big deal for me. And I currently have a nice CB radio, but I want a better one. Because
your name's Billy Williams.
Well, no, more because the one I bought was a small one because I was taking in and out of trucks every other fucking day.
Right.
So now I can actually have a nice radio that I don't have to pull in and out of all the time. I just leave it in the truck.
Well, they don't have one in there for you guys?
Oh, no. Let me tell you this. I have the choice because he has a spinning problem. No, I have I want nice shit problem.
He's always had that problem, Lindsay.
Oh, fuck both you motherfuckers. Not really. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I don't have a spinning problem. Listen, I don't know what I was getting at now.
Your CB, you're going to go buy a nice one because
I want a better one. I don't know, because I want to be able to like talk to people.
Well, and no, that's what I was actually asking you just a second ago was why don't they just put one in there for you guys?
They do in the new trucks. What I was going to say was I had the choice between a 2023 brand new truck with like no miles on it.
Okay.
Or a 2015.
So you took the 2015, I'm guessing?
Fuck yes, I did.
Why?
Josh Massey still on here. He can contest to why, because that truck's been fucking rebuilt pretty much. It might as well be a brand new truck with 650,000 miles on it.
Well, I understand that. I mean, I know diesel quite well.
Plus, it's a standard shift truck, standard transmission. It's got way more power than the new ones do. It's way more comfortable. The new ones, the ones we have, they're internationals. The seats are. No, Massey, you fuck. You know which one I'm talking about. I'm not putting the truck number out there.
So, okay. I understand that. But now that we're on this subject.
Man, I'm sweating.
You may turn it on first.
No. It won't help that much. I'm good.
All right. So, since we're on this subject, what's up with the automatics with these, man?
Each of the new ones are trash. They are. Those automatics are junk, bro. They are junk. They're horrible. Oh my God.
I mean, can nobody drive a stick anymore? Is that what the problem is?
Well, that's the thing now. People, they're not. They're actually there's a restriction now. If you go take your
can't
CDL,
move your leg and an arm at the same time, you can't.
It's a lot more than that. But if you go test an automatic truck, you have an automatic restriction on your license now.
You're shitting me.
Huh? Nope. That happened a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So our company, who we work for, they're actually sending people through school, and there for a while, even if they didn't have that specific restriction on their license, like I don't have that restriction. When I went to take my test, I took it in an old beat up fucking Freightliner.
Many years ago.
many fucking years ago. Yeah. I took an old beat up fucking, I took an old beat up Freightliner with a 48-foot trailer, and I'm lucky the thing even passed fucking inspection to get my license. Probably.
I thought you used what's its name's place.
I did, but that truck was fucking old.
Oh no, I know what their trucks look like.
But their trucks, they're in good shape. I shouldn't say that, but the one I had, we ran the fuck piss out of it for like 2 weeks. But anyway,
sorry, I'm trying to adjust this.
That noise. I hate that noise. I need to get a new stand over there. But if kids get anyway, if you go to forget our training for our company, if you test there in an automatic, sorry, get the belches. You're restricted at our company, within our company, to an automatic.
So what do you have to do to get do you have to go drive or
so say you went and got your CDL right now and you took your test in automatic.
Yes, I understand this.
Okay, so once that test is done, you're restricted to automatic only. If you want to get that restriction lifted off your license, you have to go back and retest, which is pre-trip maneuverability and a road test in a standard truck. So it's not just like going and taking a test. It's complete redo of everything.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Why would anybody do it in an automatic then?
It's easier.
Well, yeah, I know you put.
I mean, like as Josh can attest, most of the trucks in our yard now are automatic. They don't get a new truck in unless it's an automatic.
Is it just
what? It's a fuel consumption thing, I believe. Josh can probably attest to this too. I think it's about fuel. Fuel economy is better with automatic, supposedly.
Well, that I could understand because,
but it's not true.
Well, that too, because I mean, say you're going across the river and you're going up, was it going into Covington or somewhere down?
Going up the cut in the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going up the hill. I'd rather trust somebody with a manual than with an automatic. Because
not these motherfuckers they're driving these days. You wouldn't.
Oh no, I know they're going to stall it out half the time.
Oh God, no. These motherfuckers. It's about the fuel usage, yeah. But the thing is, though, I don't know. Does it really make a difference? You're the one that sees it, Josh. You see the computers and shit in these trucks. Compared to somebody who knows how to drive a standard, is it getting any better fuel economy? But the thing is, like, listen, that fucking truck cannot feel, and the autos use more than standard shift, right? That's what I thought. It's a feeling, and I know it sounds really fucking weird, but when you're climbing a hill and you weigh 80,000 pounds, it's not about the RPMs all the time. It's about the feel of that truck and how it's running.
Well, Bruce used to say the same
thing. If you're
thing.
climbing a hill and you're down to 1,200 RPM, but you're still climbing, just go.
Because I was going to say, Bruce, he actually was one of those ones that used to attest to this. He was like, I'll leave it in third gear. I'm not saying exactly what.
Right, I understand.
But he was like, I'll leave it there, going up and coming down, and it's going to run exactly fine both ways. And you're just let the engine work. And you're going to save fuel both ways.
Well, climbing hills, regardless, you're using fuel. Okay. Now, Josh, tell me this too. Like a 65 mile an hour cruise between the truck, that I'm in, say the standard shift, and then a comparable automatic. I do believe mine probably runs in a more efficient RPM range than the automatics do. Is that correct? I know we talked about this one time, and the way they have our speed set where we work at, the RPM range is below the optimal range. So they're actually using more fuel.
Really?
Yeah, because the RPM range the RPM range needs to be a little bit higher.
Okay.
I think they're cruising 1,300 RPM at 65 mile an hour in the automatics, and the optimal is like 15, or is it 12 and 14 or?
Okay, you're getting way too in depth.
65 is killing these trucks basically. They put us at 65 mile an hour to save fuel, but yet it's killing the fucking engine and it's killing fuel economy.
Why is it killing? Because of the RPMs.
Yeah, because the engine's working at a non-optimal range all day long.
But the trucks used to run at 65 all the time, or actually, no, it was 55.
But back then the trucks were probably geared to work.
I guess that was probably 10 years ago now, wasn't it?
When I got my license, they were still split speed limits in Ohio.
Well, it's still split speeds right now. Well, in spots, I should say.
There's nowhere in Ohio where trucks have a different speed anymore.
Okay, so
when I got my license, the speed limit on the highway was still 65 mile an hour.
What year was that? It had to have been over 10 years ago.
2010.
Well, yeah, that's well over 10 years ago.
Dad died in 08, so yeah, I got my license. I got laid off from Airborne in 09. I got my license in 10.
Yeah, because you still had the credit because ABX.
Yeah, I still have my workforce development credit or whatever.
Yeah, so okay. Yeah.
And they didn't change the speed limit to 70 mile an hour until I was well into my time at ODOT.
Well, and I hate to say it now that I'm also thinking about that too. That was such a long time ago that the company that you work for doesn't have any of those trucks anymore because they're out of
they're gone. Yeah.
They're too high mileage.
I believe back then, I don't know, they were probably running International Eagles, I'm assuming. I don't remember.
That sounds about right.
But I don't know. They're just the standard shift trucks. And I risk sounding like an old school truck driver, but they're better. I know the other day, a buddy of mine and I were both going to Lexington, Kentucky. I was going to Nicholasville, I was going to Lexington. I know for a fact in an automatic truck, you climb the cut in the hill at about 35 mile an hour.
Right.
35 mile an hour automatic. In my truck, I pulled that hill at 45, 46 mile an hour.
Right.
10 more mile per hour.
And that's what Bruce always said.
And that's weighing about the same because we were both carrying the same amount of pallets. So it was close to the same load. Okay. Probably 4,000 pounds somewhere there.
By the way, Mandy asked me the other day, we were driving past Flying J up there, up at 41. And she looked at me, she said, so do they have to get weighed before they get fuel? I said, they don't have to get weighed at all. I said, not right there. I said, it's down the road where the troopers are hiding. And
well, and then again, we don't always get pulled into weigh stations either. Sometimes we don't even
Was that if you got the little sensor on you guys?
We have pre-pass, yeah, in our trucks. So that's why you always see, like, for anybody that doesn't know, you always see like trucks right lane or whatever, follow pre-pass, follow in-cab signal.
Yeah.
We have a little late. It's so, like in on the turnpikes, like out east, they have the pre-pass.
Yeah.
We have the same thing. It's called it covers all kinds of shit, but it also covers way stations. There's 3 lights on there. There's one up top that never comes on. Or there's a red one up top that means pull into the way station. There's one in the middle, I believe, is like your low battery light, and there's one at the bottom is green. If you get a green light and a beep, you just keep on going. I don't really know the criteria they use to like pull people in. I have no idea.
Well, I know that a lot of trucks are just required to go in.
No, that's not true either.
Then how come 90% of the trucks go in there then?
Because they're probably getting a fucking red light.
Is that just the state doing that or what?
Yeah, that's whatever they set their parameters to, and that on their transponder to bring people in.
But everybody's going to hopefully about the same amount of weight. I mean,
not necessarily. See, it's not about weight. It's about how you spread your weight out.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. But total weight, it is concerning. But
total weight, your gross vehicle, you see your GVW. When a big truck is 80,000 pounds.
Right. But you want to make sure everything's balanced out correctly.
So you can have 34,000 on your tandems and your trailer. You have 34,000 on the drives on your truck, and you can have 12,000. Wait.
No.
34, 30. Yeah. 12,000 on your steers.
Okay. Because I remember
34, and 12 comes out to 80. Yeah. And you can't have any more. And if your load's loaded wrong and you can't slide your axles to get in that weight, then you just got to have it unloaded and fixed.
Right. And when I worked at TA, we dealt with people that had to do that all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
on the CAT scale.
Yeah, they'd go through like 5 or 6 times trying to get that sweet spot, and
you don't need to go through. If you're a good truck driver, you don't go through that many times. You know that just about every hole you slide on a tandem is about 500 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. So if you slide your tandems forward, it's throwing weight to the front. If you slide your tandems, if you slide your tandems forward, it's throwing weight to the ass in your trailer. If you slide your tandems backward toward the back of the trailer, it's throwing weight to the front of the trailer. So if your tandems are over on the back, it depends on where you're at. So if you have 36,000 pounds on the back, you need to get that to the front, then you're going to slide your tandems to the back, which is going to throw weight forward.
You're trying to think about this, and
I'm trying to explain it. And it's hard to explain when I can just do it.
No. It's not the fact that you're not having trouble explaining it. It's just you're thinking about, instead of just doing it and being like,
yeah, I'm just so used to fucking it. And honestly, really, the weight we carry where I work at, we really don't slide that often. Usually if you get like right in the middle on your rail, you're fine. But there's sometimes I seen a guy on 71 the other day. I mean, I don't know what happened to his truck, but he had his tandems all the way to the back. So he had all that spread, which meant he was putting a lot of fucking weight on the front and a lot of weight in the center of that trailer that wasn't being supported. Snapped her right in half.
Oh, I've seen that clip.
Right on the side of 71. It was a water truck too.
See, the thing is though, I see it more with the farmers when they go ahead and get beans or something. Beans are extremely heavy, right?
Wet corn out of the field is too. Those guys will pull in up here. They come right out of the field with wet corn. They're pulling in 120,000 pounds sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially the high side hopper bottom.
I don't know how we don't have more trucks just breaking in half with the way.
Because they're built for that. They know what they're for.
Well, and
believe me, Tim T and Wilson and shit, they build those trailers like fucking tanks.
This is true.
That's why. Yep, they do. They know what they're doing. They do come in super heavy, though. I mean, now, the most heavy, I think the heaviest I've ever been, I pulled out of... Central Ohio Lime and Stone up in Groveport one Friday afternoon, hauling a load of ag lime. I was like 98,000.
Wow.
And I remember they just loaded me. I was the last truck in there. It was like closing time on a Friday, and everybody's like, "Just get the fuck out of here." They just loaded me fast. And I pulled up on that scale, and that lady came across the speaker on the CB actually, and she said, "Honey, you're 98,243 pounds," whatever it was. And she's like, "You want to go back and dump some of that off?" I said, "Nope, send it." She fucking printed out my paperwork, grabbed it from the printer, and fucking rolled on. I was at a point of that in that day where I had no fucks left to give. And I was going like down to like South Bloomfield somewhere, and I went straight the fuck down 23.
Oh,
I didn't even get off. I could have got off. I could have went back roads to avoid 23. Nope. Didn't give a fuck. Super trucker right here, boys. Asphalt Cowboy Billy Williams at your service.
well, I hate to say it, in your average trucker, you show them your logbook or your weights or anything.
See, when I worked for that company, we didn't have a logbook. I didn't have to keep a logbook.
But I'm just saying,
I was within 150 air miles. Have to worry about it.
none of them are going to ever know what in the hell they're looking at anyway. So
Now, like paper logs are a whole different ball game. With what we do, we use e-logs, so there's like
you can't cheat the system.
there's no cheat in the system. Not really. I mean, other than a couple minutes, maybe. Not even really, because every time you're fucking once you log on, you have 14 hours of to finish your day.
Exactly.
Once you hit on duty, that clock starts ticking, and 14 hours starts ticking. Once your wheels start moving, that 11-hour clock starts ticking. Once that 11-hour clock's gone, you can't move that fucking truck anymore. What?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so you have 11 hours. It's every time you stop. And that's pretty cool. And this is why, like, people that bitch about e-logs, I'll tell you this real quick because we're about to wrap it up here. But cool thing about e-logs, if I stop my truck from moving at 8:50 p.m. today,
Yeah.
I forget to say log on duty, not driving.
Yeah.
That was that.
I have no idea. It sounded like somebody had a busted tire or something.
Probably. I don't know. Just don't hit none of our cars. We just got them. It gives you, I think it automatically, after 5 minutes of not moving, it'll automatically like put you on duty, not driving, and it will actually post date that back to the time you stop moving.
That's
so
nice.
If I stop moving at 8:50 and 34 seconds, at 8:55 and 34 seconds, it'll say, oh wait, you haven't moved in 5 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and put you on duty at 8:30 or at 8:50 and 34 seconds, not at 8:55 and 34 seconds. So I didn't lose that 5 minutes.
That's nice.
In paper logs, everything's in 15-minute increments. If you look at a paper log, you have like 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock.
See, I never looked at them when I was at TA.
Yeah, every paper log is in 15-minute increments, and you really can't. You have to round up or down. But if you round down too much, then at the end of the day, you're gonna see where you rounded down. So basically, your pre-trip takes 15 minutes. Hooking a trailer takes 15 minutes. Getting fuel takes 15 minutes, even if those tasks only took you 5 minutes.
Really?
A pre-trip always has to take 15 minutes. But hooking a trailer sometimes does not take 15 minutes. Getting fuel, I guarantee you, like where I get fuel at our DC, it takes 5-6 minutes sometimes, depending on how low you are.
Yeah.
But in a paper log, you have to show 15 minutes. So you're burning a lot of time that you don't even need to burn.
Okay.
So, and the guys were bitching about that when e-logs first came out. And it's like, listen, it's nothing to bitch about. It's easy.
Well, and do you ever do reefer?
I pull reefers every day.
I didn't know if you did reefers or not. Okay.
Yeah, I pull reefer every day.
And I know you got to fill it up too, and that can be a pain too.
That's included in your fueling time, though. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Yep, 15 minutes of fueling. That's all included in your reefer time. So, yep. Man, this is the most I fucking talked about truck driving since I started this fucking podcast.
And I'm not even a trucker.
No, you're not. I just talked. All right. Okay, well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I'm getting hot, and I got to go to the bathroom, and I need to get a drink of water because I didn't bring any out here today. So, with that being said, Bubba, any last words?
Yeah, you didn't give me any liquor this time. I'm not all giddy and happy and joyful. And
That's all right. You don't have to have liquor to enjoy time with me, man.
No, I'm just saying that I'm here. So, yeah.
Shouldn't have eaten the bag of chips. I didn't eat all of them.
No, she ate a whole bag of chips.
Oh, that's some of my bagel chips left. Some there.
Yeah, you didn't see that? It was one of the comments earlier.
Yeah. I seen it a few minutes ago. Yeah.
That and she can't drive manual. So, yeah.
That's a bullshit statement because she actually can drive a manual. She drove my Civic.
Oh, I know.
And she didn't do bad. It for the first time, she got it moving. She did. She shifted up. She didn't shift down, which is fine.
See, her and Mandy are in the same mindset of, I just can't drive a manual. And
But she can.
Well, I even told Mandy, I said, I guarantee I can get you driving a manual fairly quick.
Driving my... Yes, you did. You got it first just fine. You drove all the way from Domino's Pizza to our apartment. That's a long little stint through town with traffic lights.
Yeah, because you're on and off the clutch.
Right. You did good. Honestly, she did. She forgets. The only thing she had a problem doing was our driveway kind of had a slope to it. Not real bad. but she just coasted in and she stopped. And I said, pull on up. And she refused. She's like, no, I'll run through the garage door. I'm like, okay, stop right here. Then don't run through the garage door.
But she didn't
that.
hit any cars, so
No, she did fine. Now, honestly, putting her in my TL would be you'd kill a TL. It's got aluminum flywheel and shit. It's like real touchy, but anyways, thanks for checking us out tonight. We appreciate it. Check us out at www.thetruckindad.com. From there, you can subscribe to our forms of media, and I will have 3 new episodes posted probably by the end of the day tomorrow. Donnie, great listen tonight. Catch you next week. Have a safe week on the road, buddy. Thank you for catching us. Enjoy your weekend. Have a too much for tonight. Hey, enjoy your time down there at the campground. I'm sure you're having a great time tonight and tomorrow for your holiday. Guys, enjoy your holiday if you're off tomorrow. If you're not off tomorrow, like the rest of us working in the real world, well, that sucks. I'm off anyway, so I'll be thinking about you.
Yeah. I'm off tomorrow, but I go out Tuesday.
Yeah, I do too. I'll be back to work at 12:15 a.m. Tuesday morning.
And I won't be here next week because I'll be out on the road again.
Yeah, well, that's the life we've chosen for ourselves.
Sometimes I'd forget it.
That's all right. Anyways, guys, check us out one more time, www.thetruckindad.com. And make sure you like, share our posts. Please like and share my post. Please like and share my post. No, he will not be home on the week of October 5th. Already talked about that. And once again, thanks again. And once again, that's it. We appreciate it. Have a great night, everybody. Keep between the mush and the mayonnaise and drive fast and take chances.